how we're actually nothing but just humans. And I mean, it affects everybody from the old to the young. And so it just proves to us once more that all we have is the life we have. So we should just continue living in peace. And yeah, so I just feel it's going to shape the future in a very, very positive way.
Hey Laurence.
Hey Josh.
I've been thinking about the podcast. How about in the first series we focus on the pandemic?
Yeah, and in each episode we can ask our guest how it's been affecting them and what they do.
We could ask people to join in with the hashtag #PosNegative.
How would we introduce it each week?
We'll just say, welcome to Positive Negative.
Today, I speak with Godwin Josiah from the Critics Company, an independent production company from Nigeria. I first came across the Critics about a year ago when one of their films went viral. If you haven't yet seen their work, be sure to check them out on YouTube. In this episode, we chat about their filmmaking style and how the global pandemic's affecting Godwin and the rest of the Critics team in Nigeria.
Hey.
How you doing?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm good. And
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
Could you start by introducing yourself and what it is that the Critics Who Rule do?
My name is Godwin Josiah. I'm a member of the Critics Company from Kaduna, Nigeria, and we're basically teenage filmmakers. We make mostly sci-fi short films for a living now. So that's what we do.
That's great. And when you say for a living, are you all full-time and you're earning money from it?
Yeah, we can actually say so because over the past few months we've been getting paid from what we do, and your YouTube revenue also, because our subscribers have spiked up over the past few months.
Fantastic. Yeah, I was checking out your YouTube channel. You've got over 50,000 subscribers now. That's so impressive.
Thank you very much.
How many people are in the Critics?
We started up as just 5, my brother, I, and my cousin brothers. And then presently we have grown to 10. So we have a manager in the team now, and we have our sisters in the team now. And the team is actually is bigger now than before. So presently we're actually 10 in number.
Could you describe what made you first get into special effects filmmaking?
It went back as far back as 2012. So that was the first time we actually met. We're movie buffs. So when we meet, we discuss movies probably morning till night. And so we automatically loved Hollywood movies. And so in the process, we wanted to reenact some scenes we saw in movies in our own way, in our own manner. And we're doing it for sure. We're doing that, but it was not coming as great as we wanted to. And so we're like, okay, probably if we get to learn VFX and put it into what we do, it might come out a little bit better. So that was what we actually did. That was the whole thing. And we went online and to get information on softwares that could actually help you do that. So as of that time, only one of us had a laptop, Raymond, who is actually our present VFX artist. So he was the one, spearheading the VFX as of that time. And so that was literally how it actually all happened. So we just wanted to do it. And we're like, okay, probably let's check online. And from there, we learned how to use the software on YouTube.
And what was the software that you first started using?
It was Blender.
Okay. And that's free to download?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what Hollywood movies inspired you to start making effects?
Wow, the list is really, really big and long. And now that you just put me on the spot, I can't seem to remember any.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Whenever someone asks me what my favorite film is or anything like that, I just go blank.
Yeah, Transformers have to actually be, because I remember clearly watching Transformers during that period and getting really, really impressed to do something similar in over here in Kaduna.
And what made you? Because I think I first heard about you guys. I reckon it was about a year ago or something like that. And the stories got picked up on BBC News over here. Do you remember what video was it that first went really big for you guys?
Um, I think it was Z the beginning. That was our. It's actually a really special short film because presently I think it's a short film we actually put quite a lot into making.
And have you inspired other people to start filmmaking? Do you know?
Yeah, quite a lot of people. They reach out to us a lot on our social media. On our social media pages, telling us how we inspired them to do something. And it's actually really great knowing that it's one thing to inspire and it's another thing to inspire someone to the point where they actually take it on themselves to create. So it's been really amazing so far.
Do you know where your biggest audience is? Are you able to see from the analytics?
Yeah, the US.
Yeah.
And over time it was Malaysia that was stuck in the list. So it changes time to time.
And what do you hope for the future of the Critics Company?
To make films that get to inspire people, not just films that are going to be forgotten, and to help kickstart or push the new generation of filmmaking over here in Nigeria particularly, and just break the norms that have been set and barriers so we can actually conquer the world. So we look forward to doing a lot. And particularly now, we just want to get a space where we can actually have people who want to learn what we do come practically learn with us. So it's actually one of our biggest focus now. We just want to teach more people what we do.
That's fantastic. It's very inspiring what you do.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers. You also, like, if you look at your Twitter, you've got some really big celebrity followers, like Ava DuVernay, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Have you had, like, how did they, do you know how they heard about you, or how did have they got in touch?
I think it's far back, few months ago when the whole thing actually blew up. So of course we had a Twitter account, so it blew up, and all those people were actually sharing our works, and then we just quickly comment on that. Oh, it's us, follow us.
Ah, amazing.
And so that was how they got. Just some of them, I think there was a short film recently also released. It's called Under Star Story. It did really well on Twitter. So that's how I can recall getting all of those.
Cool. Yeah, that Star Wars film was really cool. I really like that one.
Thank you.
So what is the situation in Nigeria at the moment in relation to the pandemic with coronavirus?
Wow. There's actually a lot of fear and panic because I don't know if you know, but the virus, as of the very beginning, was actually affecting European countries more, and Africa was sort of unaffected as of that point. But I think now it's kind of to some extent building because we get scary amounts of new cases being reported every day. It's just scary because people are also being ignorant with the situation because a very good amount of the population in Nigeria don't believe the virus is real to start with because there's no proper education on how the virus actually affects people. So that's to actually start with, and we just hope it doesn't get worse from here.
Mm. What impact is coronavirus having on you at the moment in Nigeria?
In Nigeria as a whole, literally everything has stopped because there's restrictions of movement and the markets are closed. Shops where people actually literally earn a living from have been actually closed. So all these things have been quite stressing and scary to some extent because, like I said, when the whole pandemic started, it was kind of more affecting the European countries more. And so countries, African countries per se, didn't think it was going to come here. And the numbers are getting higher as they go by, as every day go by. The the rate of infections and reported cases in two of the most popular states, which is Lagos and Kano, has been unreal and scary too. So yeah, just hope it doesn't get worse because literally everything over here is not moving. And for us personally, we have not been able to shoot together for a while now because of the restrictions of movement. So we have been in our individual houses. I'm actually presently home, and the other members are also at their individual homes. So it has really stopped everything over here in Nigeria.
And is there, over here we have social distancing, so you're not supposed to go within 2 meters of another person? Is that the same situation with you?
Yeah, exactly. You're not supposed to meet with so much people, but over here, it's kind of an unbalance because to some extent, the way the security personnel try to implement it is nobody's allowed to go out. So to some extent, that's like how it is. But it's also it's social distance is also being practiced. Social distance is also being practiced here. But I think there's a limited number of people allowed in a particular gathering.
Mm. And you've already said how it's impacting your work, like you guys can't get together and shoot anything. Are you able to still work on any projects? Is there any projects that you've already shot and you can still edit, or?
Yeah, I think I'm going to use this as a means of advertisement. So we worked on a project, all right? We feel it's going to be our biggest yet because we put a lot into it. So thankfully, we got to finish it before the whole pandemic situation started, and we finished we finished the shooting process, and it's presently undergoing post-production, and hopefully we get to release it really, really soon. So yeah, we actually shot something.
Can you tell me anything about that project, or is it top secret?
It's top secret. It's top secret.
Okay, not even a little bit of a sizzle?
Not really. But we're actually trying to take a serious approach to it because it's kind of really, really long, and to boost up our social media engagement, we feel bringing it out as a series instead of one whole film is going to actually be quite better for us. So it's going to be a three-part series. Series. I don't know which genre, so it's going to be really awesome. It's coming soon.
Fantastic. And you've done, not all of your work is FX based. Like you had that little short film about Kobe Bryant, which was really quite moving. And you've also got the documentary on plastic waste in Nigeria too.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah. What inspired you to make more, I don't want to say more serious, but films that divert away from science fiction?
For me personally, the story was it was our story in some kind of way because over here in Africa, over here in Nigeria, sorry, when people dream weird dreams, they are considered crazy. And I said this because when we started filmmaking, you don't have a lot of filmmakers over here where we stay. So when we decided to become filmmakers, a lot of our friends, close people told us we're actually just wasting our time. So I wanted to see it in the light of a boy who likes basketball in Africa because the major sport over here is football, soccer ball. So being a boy who basketball over here in a soccer ball populated country, so that story is very, very unique. And so imagining he grew up on Kobe Bryant and now his mentor, idol, has been reported there. So that was like the story I was trying to pass, how heartbreaking it can actually be for the people who have always looked up to people like Kobe Bryant. So that was what inspired that. And a lot of times we tend to do things like that. So we are not always tied on the sci-fi genre. We tend to do a lot of other things like the plastic the plastic waste video we did about Nigeria. So we just wanted to put more light on that particular fact because it's also a topic that's been ignored by Africa largely. We have a very high rate of plastic pollution going on here. So we just wanted to put the video out that explains to people how dangerous this thing is actually to the environment. So we normally do that time to time, and I believe we're going to do more of that in the nearest coming future.
That's brilliant. And do you think the current pandemic, will that impact on your storylines in the future, do you think?
Definitely. I mean, what we see in the movies are actually becoming real already. So I think so. I think it's going to have a very, very huge impact. I mean, talking about that, I happen to have began writing a script on something related to the pandemic yesterday. So, I mean, it's going to be worldwide. Lots of Hollywood films are going to be coming out revolving around the virus, I guess.
Obviously, you guys are still able to get revenue from YouTube, but does that require you to be putting out films so often? Like, is there a chance that if lockdown goes on for a long time, that could affect your revenue?
We've considered that because what we try to do with our YouTube, we try to teach as much as we try to put out content too. We have segments where we just discuss films. We have segments where we teach people how to do VFX and a whole lot of that, and segments where we review products that have been sent to us. So over the past few weeks, we have not been able to shoot some episodes, but we already shot some down. So we devised a plan where we just exchange the cameras and, shoot episodes and edit them and just keep the content flowing on the channels and all social media platforms till all this actually subsides down.
And how are you feeling about the effect it's had on you in Nigeria and everything?
Scared, particularly because it doesn't seem like it's going to be going down real soon. I say this because, like I said earlier, people have been ignorant with the topic and situation. Like I said, very good population over here don't believe the virus exists. So I just hope it doesn't get worse. But in one word, I would say I'm extremely scared.
Has there been anything positive come out of it since the pandemic started? Have you seen any positive actions maybe in your community?
Well, none I can really recall. I don't think none I can really recall.
That's okay.
But, no.
No, that's all right. Are there any particular ways you think this would shape the future?
Yeah, there's actually a bright side to it. I think people are using this time to connect more and appreciating each other more. For the fact that we have not been able to see, has actually made people understand how fragile and how simple life is. And I think it's going to shape the future in a very, very positive way. And people are going to be not taking themselves for granted more. So I think people are going to be embracing themselves, because this particular pandemic has showed us how we're actually nothing but just humans. And I mean, it affects everybody from the old to the young. And so it just proves to us once more that all we have is the life we have. So we should just continue living in peace. And so I just feel it's going to shape the future in a very, very positive way.
Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for the time. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for listening to Positive Negative.
Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at PosNegative or find us on Facebook.
And join in the conversation using the hashtag PosNegative.
You can help us to grow by leaving us a review and sharing this episode with your friends and followers.
You'll also find links to what we've talked about in the show notes, or by visiting positivenegativepodcast.com.